88th Carrera Cup victory yesterday afternoon. The sweet sound of Porsche at Albert Park. It's a great championship with great racing. Wheel spin for Richo, not a great start for the 2014 champ. Davison streets ahead on the run down into turn one. McBride around the outside of Stephen Richards, busy in the pack. Everyone gets through. David Wall off wide, and there's a couple of cars off. Shane Smollen, the defending Tag Heuer Carrera Challenge class champion, is off the road down at turn one. I think everyone was able to continue.
Looked like that was Mark Seeney, who potentially up the inside just lost a little bit of break-in and ran wide. We see here David Wall, ex-V8 supercar driver, running wide down at turn three, but it was Alex Davison who got a great start, and there is no better feeling starting from pole position and knowing you've got the lead into turn one.
He hooked up and disappeared up the road. Now, you mentioned we'll watch Ash Walsh coming through the field. He's in the 777 Bob Jane Team Arts car. Dean Fiore will be another one to watch because he was buried down the field after an off in that race yesterday, and the safety car is out. So clearly, not everyone got back going, and Mark Seeney, the most experienced driver in the Porsche Carrera Cup Australia field, is stranded down there at turn one.
So that's a safety car there. Looked like the right front also had a little bit of damage, so I think it was Seeney. Yeah, and there's Dean Fiore, his teammate, with left front damage, so hopefully those two didn't come together. They had a bit of a joke this morning about how Mark beat him, but Mark's jumping out of the car, and good to see he's obviously okay, but that Porsche may be a little worse for wear.
So they'll drag that out and pull it out of the way. So hopefully this safety car not too long. We want green flag racing on a big Saturday here at Albert Park. And that's big damage for Shane Smollen, who was the Carrera Challenge class champion last year, the Sydney-sider, who drives very, very well. Stephen Grove won that class yesterday. And it's Alex Davison and Stephen Richards first and second behind the safety car when they pick it up down at turn one at the end of this lap.
The Porsche spare truck parts might be busy this weekend there with a few front steering arms. They might need to reorder a few in from Germany, but that's the benefit of this category. All the cars are identical, built in the same factory, and all the spares fit each other's cars. So no doubt those guys will be able to get their cars back on track for tomorrow's race.
Impressive start for Fraser Ross in the 360 Fly. Entry car number 360. Funnily enough, he's P5. He's having a super weekend, couple of sixth places so far. So let's break it down. What happened on this run to turn one? Davison, we know, drove away, but watch the two red cars a little bit further back in the pack because somewhere here they get caught up with each other.
So you can see Dean Fiore back left in the red car. We see Mark Seeney. He's come down. He's got a right front broken or locked up, and he's actually tagged Dean Fiore's teammate and Shane Smollen all in the same incident, and you can see steam coming out of the front of the car. That's pierced that radiator. So
Seeney had the dramas before he made contact with anybody, so it's almost as if something broke on the run down in there, which is very, very strange for Porsche racing. This is on board David Wall, so this will be busy because he copped a few hits, I think, outside of turn one.
It's always difficult here. Three trying to get into one. He's gone the big move on the outside and just ran out of road, and he's on the grass.
So, big moment for David Wall. Big damage for Mark Seeney and Dean Fiore. While we're under safety car, we'll take a break. More coverage coming your way. The big countdown to qualifying here on 10. In that start line crash, or that run up to turn three, fast part of the racetrack. Here's a look, Grant and Jack. Talk us through what occurred here.
Congestion is basically it. It funnels down into such a narrow space in turn one. A lot of cars fighting for not much room.
The Ferrari had a bit more horsepower to drag the McLaren down into turn one, but we're looking down in the pack there. We see the bright green and red car of Beardo just dropped out a shot. We might see the tail end of that there. That's Largo getting turned around.
By an Aston Martin, I think, of George Madiki.
I think that might have been Tony Quinn, actually, the Darrell Lee car. Right. So Nathan Antunes in the orange McLaren was squeezed out wide, and that caused the hip and shoulder. Let's look a bit further back. All three Lamborghinis in the field were caught up in that. The Taplin real estate car that Dean Canto has been driving this weekend, and there's Craig Baird. First ever win in global GT racing for the AMG GT in race one on Thursday, which Mercedes and Ford, two of the most successful V8 supercar teams of the last decade, and they're racing at Albert Park, and the famous spread behind as the field sorts themselves out. Watch Fabian Coulthard, he was third. The DJR Team Penske Ford, but it's Win Cup into turn one. Muscle behind, and Jason Bright turned around. straight to the car up, but he's got damage. Nick Percat, the Clipsal winner, off the road on the exit of turn 1. Out at 11,
he's got him.
Gets into the Bottle O Ford and turns him round.
It was interesting. It looked like Mark already had damage on the right rear. There was smoke coming off the guard, and then fade it looks, but they were pretty tame in the front half, and we see Bridie there. Definitely got tagged by Scott Pye in the Western Star Penske Mobile.
So Pye started 10th, he's 8th now, right with damage, and that was at turn 3, so that damage carted him off the road at turn 3 a little bit later on in the lap, because he actually rebounded quite well. So this was the move with Mark Winterbottom and Fabian Coulthard side by side. They talked about racing room in the driver's briefing. Jack, what's your thought?
It's a tough one. It's not a common corner. We see another angle, and look, Fabian was definitely there. Mark's going to argue he wasn't far enough, and Fabian's going to argue that Mark shut the door, but let me car speed they've got. A little bit of a replay here. This, I think, is Todd Kelly. It looks like it's had a big mechanical failure in front of Lee Holdsworth, and I'd suggest that's potentially the same problem they had yesterday with an oil line. Lots of smoke. That's just hot oil hitting the exhaust pipe, and potentially a little bit on the road. And Todd, being the owner of the equipment, he knew to pull that over. A lot of other drivers would have tried to drive that back with maybe no oil in it, which wouldn't have gone down that well. So they've made a few changes this weekend to a few of the technical components of the car, and as we see a replay here, so David Reynolds actually did get into the back of Will Davison there. The left front made contact with the right rear, and it just knocked him wide and enabled Moffat in the 34 Volvo to get the run on both of them.
And Wood just trying to sneak up the middle of them, and that was firmly shut by David Reynolds in the Penrite Erebus Holden. Good to see Scott McLaughlin, once he got himself off the PlayStation, got to the track. Was away we go. Good start from Garth Tanner and the Holden Racing Team. Commodore immediately draws alongside and passes Fabian Coulthard. But he's on the outside of the road, and Fabian on a little wet patch there. And down the inside goes Mostert, and cops a hit in the rear bar. And in a replay of what happened at the start of race 1, the Lucas Pro Drive Racing Australia, Scott McLaughlin in the game here as well.
Oh, Scott Pye.
And off and into the gravel, and got to keep the momentum up.
He was on the inside of the racetrack. There was a little bit of moisture there, and he locked a left front as soon as he touched the brake pedal. And basically, you're a passenger from there when you can't pull.
More than half a second quicker than the leaders. Now, this is Scott Pye down the inside of the Monster Falcon.
It came off the white line. It wasn't wet there, but the white line would have had a little bit of moisture there, and as soon as he chucked the brakes on, it was a left front lock. Replay at the start. Look at Tanner. Great jump there, right of screen on the left-hand side of the track. Like I said, as soon as the light goes out, you'd have your left foot on the brake pedal and you jump down on the throttle pedal, but they still spin the wheels. They've got so much horsepower, these cars, and not a lot of traction.
To that Lucas Dumbrell car. That was Andre Heimgartner, the young Kiwi.
That was a case of 4 into 1, doesn't work.
David Reynolds.
Yeah, David Reynolds into the side of Blanchard, Blanchard into the side of Heimgartner, and one of them.
Ace in the fight at the front, and that's Todd Kelly, the car sales Nissan, for the 3rd time this weekend, with smoke billowing from the end. We saw that in practice 1 on Thursday morning here at Albert Park. We saw
snuck it back over, so watch this. Michael Caruso darts over to the right, and from here on, you're supposed to stay in a straight line. And unfortunately, Michael's come back over the front of James. James did nothing wrong there. A little bit of contact on the exit, and James has been able to sneak into 4th.
Great shot of Caruso with the opposite lock, and just gave JC a love tap for his efforts there on the corner exit as Courtney took his racing line.
Great slow-mo shot there. Wheel-to-wheel contact like that is when you get damage to these cars. I mean, the rear suspension can really damage the front suspension. Both cars lucky that both the wheels are still pointing straight ahead.
Vous la voyez, la voiture qui a mené pendant tant de temps aujourd'hui, l'Audi R8 numéro 14, qui est arrêté sur la piste et qui provoque un code 60. La direction de course vient d'annoncer, il va y avoir un code 60. On va voir les drapeaux agités d'ici quelques instants. Il y a... Oh, l'accident! L'accident, une Porsche qui vient de percuter la numéro 14 à l'arrêt. Et ça a failli être la Renault 333 qui l'a évité de justesse.
Et voilà le résultat d'une direction de course qui n'est pas capable de mettre un code 60 au moment où il voit la voiture s'arrêter sur la piste.
Aïe aïe aïe, il avait annoncé le temps que les drapeaux soient agités. Ça a été la catastrophe. C'est une Porsche, je crois bien, je me demande si c'était pas la Porsche.
C'est la numéro 56
qui était en tête de sa catégorie 991. Là, on la voit en flamme dans le virage suivant. C'est une catastrophe à seulement 1 heure de l'arrivée.
Heureusement, on voit le pilote sortir. Attention, parce qu'il y a quand même le feu derrière. Là, ça a l'air de...
Voilà, bon, heureusement, le pilote est indemne.
Voilà, on voit un commissaire arriver.
Giovanni Berton. qui était en tête avec seulement 40 secondes d'avance sur Charles Putman dans le numéro 78, un duel qu'on avait vu un peu plus tôt avec d'autres pilotes, avec Espen Loeb notamment et Mercatali. Ah, le duel qui aurait pu se poursuivre jusqu'à la fin de la course, et là l'accident, regardez la roue à gauche là contre le muret qui appartient ou à la Porsche ou à l'Audi.
En même temps, le pilote de l'Audi aurait pu se garer, hein. Il avait moyen de se mettre dans l'herbe plutôt que rester sur la piste.
Regardez la Renault RS01 qui évite de justesse l'accident, mais du coup qui coupe la visibilité à la Porsche.
Et puis il y avait la Mercedes juste à côté de la numéro 10 qui était juste à côté de la Porsche. Ça a été très très chaud aussi pour cette voiture. On avait vraiment les gros bras, les leaders de cette.
The change racing cars. We'll see if we can find a replay for you, but that's a big off.
It is, and I think maybe Jordan Taylor saw that, and that's why he hit pit lane. Oh, look at that! You see the twitch there on that BMW. Watch just loses it. Oh, nearly gets the Corvette. That's the 11 cutter right now. Tanzan Bell behind the wheel, one of the more experienced drivers in this field that catches out the best.
It's Misha Goikberg, comes out to turn 17. He's fine, and then just goes on the white line on driver's left, spears across the track and hits the pit wall very hard indeed. And the JDC Miller Motorsports prototype challenge car is going to have to do a whole lap with damage to the front end. They were passing other cars. In fact, they were passing that battle in GTD, were they? Oh, huge! So that's weird.
The Porsche just never turned in.
Well, the Porsche was coming from the other side of the GTD.
Astra was in the wrong at the wrong time.
That car had come alive too. I don't know if his left front tire started going down and it liked the setup like that, but he started really running some fast lap times.
I'm board here with Eric Jones, who he had just passed to take second place.
Eric Almirola had just gone a lap down, so the caution will get him the free pass, put him back on the lead lap. That will mean 14 cars on the lead lap.
You can see a little damage to that left front fender. Maybe the fender started.
This group drive through the field. Ray Black Jr. heading back to the garage.
On pit road, and the other one didn't know it. Oh, Larson's
he got
spinning
loose.
Now he's got real loose.
Super loose.
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
And Biffle just
had a big run.
Had a big head of steam and couldn't get off of him. I mean,
look how sideways Larson got right there.
I think Biffle thought he was going to spin down to the inside, and he was able to hang on to it.
I don't know. Well, listen here. Stay down, easy. He actually got out of the gas. He saw Larson get loose, and when he got out of the gas, the back of his car turned sideways, and it just sent him right into
I'm pretty sure he thought that 42 was going to spin down the hill, and he was going to clear him on the outside.
Bam! Oh, big impact. Man. Thank God that safer barrier's there, but that was still a huge impact.
Second caution of the day, lap 48.
That thing hit head on.
Did you see it go up in the air, DW?
It reminded me of when Denny Hamlin wrecked down here off turn 4 a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson to bring out this second caution. Top of the screen.
Way up the top up there. Coming.
Oh, yeah. You can see right there. Left rear tire goes out, and he's lost control. At this moment, he's trying to keep it going straight.
Yeah.
Hits the outside wall.
This is the one that's going to hurt.
He's just
Watch this thing come
for the
down
ride.
through here. Head on into that inside wall.
Just nothing he can do at this point.
Just hang on.
Straight into the safer barrier.
Watch that safer barrier. Watch that thing flex and shoot that car back out.
Now you're talking about a 3,400-pound piece of machinery lifted all 4 wheels up in the ground and spins it around like a top.
Probably running about 140, maybe 50 miles an hour, even
in the scrub,
at that point, trying to scrub off speed.
As it scrubs off speed, still carrying a tremendous amount of speed.
That's huge.
Here's another look.
just can't catch the left rear down. The car wants to turn right, hits that outside wall. And watch this safer barrier. I mean, that thing bowed in, and it absorbed all that energy. If that is a concrete wall, totally different story.
Kyle, third caution of the day. Here it is.
Looks like when we practiced here yesterday morning. He's got a lot of damage to the car even before this, Mike.
Now you can see that wall just sucked him into the wall, and he just grinded along the right side. Now I can tell you who this is going to really hurt, and that's Kevin Harvick. No, I'm telling you why. Here's why it's going to hurt him. Because he has now tires that have laps on them. He's going to be leading this.
Catch Casey. She's going by.
He's side drafting her right here.
And I think
she did come up a little, but I like that other angle that we saw. I'd like to see it again to see if the 5 just got down to her right rear a little. You can see him side drafting her. Look at that move right there. See, that move right there was the one that made me think that he started to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't turn the wheel as we saw, but there was a growing space between her car and the white line. The car was starting to move up a little bit. Casey was coming down.
It just shows you how little it takes, how little impact it takes to turn a car sideways on a straightaway like that.
And we run so close together. I mean, you're inches apart on making a pass like that, and if one moves a little one way and one moves a little the other, you have contact.
You saw the flames. She smelled gas, climbed out of the car quickly, and will join Kyle Larson out of the race.
Hey, Darrell, I want you to take your right hand and poke that guy over there to your right.
As Martin Truex bounces off the wall and keeps digging. Wall. There's the damage. He was running 13th. And there he is into the wall. But we stay green.
Yeah.
Now the question is, was that a tire, or did he just get into the wall? Because what we've been seeing, and we saw a trend earlier in the race, second though.
Yeah, not today.
Without only on 3 tires.
You know what I'd do, boys? I'd get me 2 tires. Just like Carl did last week.
You can go ahead and get you 2.
I'm just saying.
You do that.
By the way, you're on your island by yourself right here.
Here comes Suarez, guys. White flag is out. 1 to go. Brought to you by Credit One Bank. And that's a big one for Kyle Busch because he knows we're not going to get the caution. He blows a tire.
Back to the checkers.
Here comes Daniel Suarez down on the inside. Drama. Does Daniel have enough gas? California. Suarez now in position for his first career victory. If he's not out of gas, Austin Dillon's running third, 5 seconds back. Does he have enough gas? Suarez on the apron. Here comes Dillon off of turn 2. Look at Suarez. Kyle's going to try to make it with a flat tire. Can he do it? Busch back in front of him. This is outstanding on the final lap.
And Austin Dillon is into 3.
He's coming fast. Dillon's going to get the lead. Here comes Austin Dillon. Where does he stand on fuel? He goes to the outside. Dillon outside of Kyle Busch into the wall. There's contact. Back to the checkered flag. Unbelievable. Austin Dillon wins it. Wow, what a race. Who needs March Madness? This is California Auto Club Speedway Madness, and it doesn't get any better than this.
Daniel Suarez could taste the win.
Yeah, I'd rather be lucky than good any day. Hell of a job, boys. That's all you right there, Austin Dillon.
Oh, what a heartbreaker for Kyle.